Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Miami Heat fans unhappy with latest Jimmy Butler report. It has been weeks since the Miami Heat traded Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors. Yet, it feels like the talk about the 35-year-old in connection with the organization has not stopped. Butler spent more than 5 years with the Heat, was the face of the franchise the entire time and guided them to 2 NBA Finals. In contrast, he has been with the Warriors for a few weeks. Of course, it has been a good start, with the team 5-1 in the 6 games that Butler has played for them so far. Let's see if they can keep up this early form and a late run for the playoff spots in a wide-open West. Life on the Warriors already seems to have made quite the impression on Butler though, who is playing for his 5th franchise. As reported by Tristy Rodriguez on NBC Sports, Butler believes the Warriors are better than any other organization he's been a part of, ESPN's Shams Charania revealed Sunday on NBA Countdown. That means that Butler believes that the Warriors are a better organization than not just the Heat but also the Chicago Bulls, Minnesota Timberwolves, and Philadelphia 76ers. Charania said, "I'm telling you it's different this time. I haven't sensed the same feeling he's had when he went to Philly, when he went to Miami. This is different for Jimmy Butler, going to Golden State. He's staying late for shoot-around. He's staying late for practices. He's spending so much time in the training room, the meal room. He's going above and beyond to ingratiate himself with the Warriors right now." Of course, a lot of Heat fans were not particularly impressed. One wrote, "They are in the honeymoon phase, it's all good." Another wrote, "Jimmy Butler is always happy until he suddenly isn't." A third added, "Bro, he's only been there for 2 weeks. These are still early days for Butler and the Warriors. It is important to see how this team develops, as other teams around the league start to adjust as well. One thing is for sure though, when it comes to recent history, the Warriors certainly have been more successful than any other team that Butler has been on. He might have an outsider's chance of winning a ring as well, if everything falls into place for the Warriors. Steph Curry and Draymond Green certainly know the path to the mountaintop. Nikola Jovic injury update reveals timeline for Heat forward's return. The Miami Heat will be without Nikola Jovic for at least 4 weeks, the team announced Tuesday. Jovic will be in a splint and re-evaluated after those 4 weeks after suffering a fracture in the second metacarpal of his right hand during Sunday's loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. The timeline places Jovic's earliest return at some point in mid to late March, but Jovic will likely require time to ramp up even if he's given the all-clear during his evaluation in 4 weeks. The Heat's final regular season game is April 13 versus the Washington Wizards. Jovic had settled into a role as Miami's third big, behind Bam Adebayo and rookie Kel'el Ware. He averaged 10.7 points, 3.9 rebounds, 2.8 assists and 25.1 minutes in 46 games this season. Kyle Anderson received a bulk of the minutes off the bench in Jovic's absence in Monday night's loss to the Atlanta Hawks. He played well, tallying 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists in 28 minutes. Jamie Jaquez Jr. and Haywood Highsmith are other options to get minutes in Jovic's absence as well. The Miami Heat are not having a good time right now as the team seems to be on a clear downward trajectory. And on top of that, they have been handed some concerning injury news regarding Nikola Jovic. Jovic suffered an injury in their recent game against the Milwaukee Bucks last weekend. He did not return on the night and won't be back on the court for a while. The Heat announced that it has been determined that Jovic suffered a fracture in the second metacarpal of his right hand. He will be in a splint and re-evaluated in 4 weeks. Jovic has been a decent contributor for the Heat this season. So, his absence will come as a blow for a team that is already struggling for form. Even the recent acquisition of Andrew Wiggins from the Golden State Warriors as part of the Jimmy Butler trade and his solid play has not converted into wins for the Heat. Jovic has averaged 10.7 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 2.8 assists in 25.1 minutes per game this season. He has played 46 times. The Heat have now lost 6 of their last 7 games. That is not where this team wants to be, but at the moment, expecting anything more than a play-in spot feels unrealistic. They have a 26-30 record and are 9th in the East. Detroit Pistons are 6th with a 32-26 record and are on a 7-game winning streak right now. Of course, we would like to wish Jovic the best of luck in his recovery and hope that he is back to full fitness as soon as possible. NBA rumors: Jimmy Butler is already taking subtle shots at the Miami Heat. All throughout this season in Miami, Jimmy Butler had made it clear that he had lost his joy as a member of the Heat. In his words, that's a big reason why he ended up requesting a trade away from the team. That and the fact that the team didn't want to give him a contract extension. But, at least through the media, Jimmy had made it pretty clear that he was no longer happy as a member of the Heat. Ahead of the NBA trade deadline, the Heat obliged Jimmy by trading him to the Golden State Warriors. A few games into his tenure with the new franchise, Jimmy is already beginning to take subtle shots against his former club. According to ESPN's Shams Charania, Jimmy is going above and beyond to fit in with the Warriors and feels as if it's the best organization he's ever played for. Even though it's not surprising for a new player to say this about his new team, especially if he's happy playing basketball again, it is a small jab that will echo throughout the Heat's franchise. Known as one of the most respected franchises in the league, this will certainly hit a nerve in the front office. Pettiness aside, it's hard not to like and appreciate the impact that Jimmy has made on the Warriors in such a short time. During his 6 games played with the team, the Warriors are 5-1 and Jimmy is averaging 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists per game on 47% shooting from the field. Perhaps more than his on-the-court production, Jimmy has given the Warriors a legit second supporting star next to Steph Curry and a player they could possibly lean on when the NBA playoffs roll around. The Warriors look like a team that has a championship swagger once again, and if everything falls in the right place heading into the postseason, this is a team that has the talent, now with Jimmy, and veteran experience to potentially make a deep run. I'm not sure if I would go all the way to say that the team is in a position to win a title this season like Draymond Green, but they can't be ignored in what could be described as a somewhat wide-open Western Conference. And you, fan? What do you think of Jimmy Butler's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.